Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, I got something pretty cool today I wanted to finally do. I figured, let's do a spirit tier list. Now, this is specifically support spirits, so not going over any primary spirits. Maybe I can make that its own video as well. Why not? It could be kind of fun, but support spirits. So, you can do a lot of with support spirits, obviously. Setups that you use on your own character when you're playing, if you mess around with spirits that you put onto your own amiibos, whether you turn them into raid bosses, whatever it is. I got this isn't all the support spirits, but I'll go over the major ones and then a couple other ones that are just like, all right, here's what they do, and some that I'll explain why they're not on the list and why they're jank. So let's start things off with the S tier. Right up top, you see 5 of them. Now you're not going to know what their it doesn't say what their effect is, but I will explain each and every one. So the S tier, these are the top 5 support spirits in the entire game. Whether you put them on yourself for whatever setup you want to use, or you're putting them onto your amiibo to just make them more powerful, whatever that happens to be, these are the top 5. So we have the Halberd spirit, which is the Armor Knight, which increases your offense a little bit, greatly increases your defense. And then I think it like slightly decreases your speed, but it's no big deal because it only takes up 2 slots. So you can put it on move speed up to kind of, you know, nullify the negative effect from the speed down in that case. So Armor Knight, one of the best support spirits in the game. Next to that we have what do we got? Celebi. Great auto heal, takes up all 3 slots. Every 5 seconds you will heal 5% damage. Just it's broken. It's banned in a lot of spirit tournament or not spirit tournament amiibo tournaments. It's regarded as, well, one of the broken 5, and these are all the 5. Next to it we have Gold Mario, which is super armor, makes it very difficult to become launched or flinched. But once you reach about 80%, somewhere around there, then it starts to wear off a little bit. But trying to get your opponent up to 80% while they had this spirit equipped is a difficult challenge in itself. Next to that, we have the slow super armor. That's I forget what his name is, Walhart or something like that. Probably not it, but slow super armor, same effect as super armor, but this one also decreases your speed as well. So it only takes up 2 slots, but it has a negative effect to it, but still incredibly powerful. And then the last support spirit for the S tier, Auto Heal. Auto Heal is the same thing as Great Auto Heal, except just a little bit less. So every 5 seconds, you'll heal 3% damage. But the cool thing with this, Auto Heal allows you, since it only takes up 2 slots, it allows you to use and combine it with any other single support spirit, which there's some fantastic combinations, which might be a video of its own I do in the next week or so. But those are the S tiers. Now let's drop down to the A tiers. First up, we have the Majora's Mask. Which one does that do? It's trade-off ability. You will start with 30%, but you will have a slight increase to attack, defense, and movement speed. That takes 1 slot. So pair that up with the auto heal. You start with 30, but you're going to start chipping away at your own, or decreasing your own HP, which is good. And plus, you're going to get this added effect for attack, defense, and speed. Sign me up. That's a hell of a spirit right there. Next to that, we have the Shine Sprite. Windfish does the exact same thing. Every single every single special attack, neutral, up, down, side, all of them get increased in attack. That's why it's up here in the A tier list, because it happens to cover four different sets of moves. So whether you're a character that really relies on your special attacks to rack up damage, maybe it KOs, whatever it is, that is a fantastic one and only takes up 1 slot, 1 support spirit slot, so that's pretty good. Next to that, Hyper Smash Attacks. This one increases your attack strength and your charge speed for smash attacks. Now that, taking up 1 slot as well, is fantastic on so many characters. Obviously, a lot of characters will rely on their own smash attacks to get KOs. Put this on there, make it a little bit stronger, and make it a little bit faster. Easy. That's an easy choice for A tier. Next to that, we got the Wolfen, or basically anything that does shield damage. Now, with the latest patch back in January, I think that was January, wasn't it? When the shields got increased, This is a big one. This one probably before I would have put maybe as like a low B tier, but no, this is definitely in the A tier now. Shields are so big, and you'd be able to pop a shield in like maybe one attack before, depending on how the spirit setup was well utilized. Well, now you put this on there and it only takes up the one slot as well, so you can really come up with some creative, super offensive ways to really just punish your opponent for shielding, and it's a fantastic one. Now I have, next to that is the Rock Mario, or anything that does physical attacks. That is so good. There's so many characters, even with weapons, but there's so many characters that will rely on physical attacks. Now that's up here. I don't have weapon attack up here quite yet. They're down the next tier, but I'll explain why. Physical attack, there's just so many characters that don't rely on a weapon, even some that do though, that it just makes such great use of this. Just increases your attack. Punches, kicks, bites, anything that's physical contact makes it a little bit more powerful, and only taking up one slot. Simple and easy, one of the best spears in my opinion. Moving next to that, we have Mallow, or anything that is trade up attack. Now, if you remember trade up ability, so trade up attack, and actually next to it is Shedinja, which is trade up defense. Trade off, I should say, not trade up, but trade off attack and defense. This is on the lower part of the A tier. Maybe it could be very high B tier, but I say low end A tier. But trade off attack and defense, same thing as the ability. You start with 30%, but you get increased for attack, for the attack one, and then obviously increased defense for the defensive one. Now, obviously, trade-off ability is so much better because you get 3 different categories of increase, while this one just focuses on one solo one, which is fine because you can make some really tanky, bulky stuff with the defensive one. Put that on there, give yourself air defense, maybe, weapon resist, whatever it might be. You can make some very fun, very bulky, very tanky styles for your characters, and of course, offense. More offense, and it still only takes up the one slot, so good stuff there. And then the last one that I have here is the Kyurem, or Toss and Meteor. So many characters can benefit from having an additional, just the launch distance, upward and downward. So some characters that are a bit weaker, that their attacks don't quite get the job done, like you really got to work to do some damage, get them into the triple digits before they're actually gonna, all right, now my smash attack's gonna be legit. Nah, not like characters like Incineroar, who has forward smash, which kills at like 39% if you're on the edge of a Final Destination set, which is crazy. And then you got characters maybe like Meta Knight, for example. His I did a raid boss recently. Even with increased stats, he still wasn't that powerful. He was still lacking, and that's a character that definitely deserves some buffs, but that's a different topic. But Toss and Meteor rounds out the A tier. Moving down to the B tier here. First up, air attacks. Quite a bit of character. I mean, everybody can utilize air attacks, right? Just something in the air. Neutral attacks, physical attacks, neutral air, back air, forward air, down air to spike. Simple, yeah. So many characters, if not everyone, maybe not everyone, but so many characters on the roster can greatly benefit from having this. And again, only takes up one slot, which is always good. So if you're looking for just a true offensive type of threat, air attack for many characters is going to get the job done. So again, pretty good one. But moving next to that, the giant support speed. I have this at B. Some people actually think it should be higher, but I'll explain why I have it at B. It takes up 2 slots and it disappears after like, 6, 7, 8 seconds or something like that. And that's if you don't pair it with transformation duration, which, by the way, if you're not pairing it with that, transformation duration is, well, garbage, and it doesn't deserve to be on the list. Therefore, it's not. But back to giant. So, takes up 2 slots, and it only lasts for just a few seconds at the start of the battle. So if your opponent is able to run away from you, even though you're giant, and you can still get some good attacks off, and it will do some tremendous damage. If your opponent is able to dodge you, you wasted 2 support slots for absolutely nothing. It's like, might as well just not even throw a spirit on there. But it still has a lot of good benefits, but it has a lot of negatives as well. I've used it on a few, and a few of my amiibos and a few setups myself. It's just like, I don't know if it's really worth it. If we're doing a 3-stock match and for some reason the character's able to just kind of keep dodging and countering my attacks, I'm kind of screwed there. So it's still a good spirit. It's still good, but takes up 2. Kind of sucks there. But moving next to the giant, we have Insta Drop. Now, Insta Drop, I have a raid boss with this, Sleepy Time, my Jigglypuff. Insta drop into rest is absolutely broken, and nobody ever sees it coming. You don't know when it could happen, but it's not. I'm not saying that insta drop is B tier just because of Jigglypuff. No, there's any character really can make use of insta drop, and you'll be like at the top of the screen, and next thing you know, boom, you're at the bottom, just like that. Insta drop. That's what it says. What it does, right? So you can do a lot of insta drop true combos, actually, not with just Jigglypuff, but I've seen some really good Foxes and Falcos. Who else did I see? I was just playing against one online the other day. Who had it? I can't remember. Somebody had a really good insta drop thing. It was just like kept constantly dropping, kicking. It was just really good stuff, and it's just like constant offense. It wasn't like the greatest damage by any means, but it was just always in your face, which is good. And it does take up 2 slots, so gotta keep in mind that one. But still worthy of the B tier in this one. So up next to round out the rest of the B tier, we have weapon attack, fist attack, and foot attack. Now, why did physical attack get put in A? Because physical attack just covers a lot more moves. Weapon attacks, sure, it covers, well, weapon attacks, but you might only have a certain number of weapon attacks. Same thing for like fist and foot attacks. There might be only certain characters that will really greatly benefit or utilize those spirits to a better degree than other ones. It's not like you can just throw I can't just go throw a weapon attack on like Bowser or whatever. Like Bowser has no weapons. There's no point for that. Obviously, characters that have weapons makes much more sense, right? Much more sense. But yeah, we got weapon, foot, and fist attack. So and then rounding out a B tier, I have air defense. Again, only takes up 1 slot. And again, if you want to really build one of those bulky ones, combine it with trade-off defense and I don't know, whatever else you might want to try to pair it up with. Stack 3 trade-off or air defenses. Would be kind of weird but maybe your character just always is duking it out in the air. I don't know, but air defense is low B tier, but it's still a very solid option just to help your character and your set out, whatever you're doing. Now we go to the C tier, which has, well, the most spirits in here. So the first 4, neutral, side, down, and up special. They're all C tier. Maybe they could be higher, but I put them at C tier only because they cover just one specific move. Yes, it works on every single character, but it only covers just the one move. So when you have something like a physical attack, that can cover multiple different moves in a character's moveset. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I have move speed down here at the C tier. Move speed, I think, I mean, sure, could you make a character faster? Okay, yeah, but it depends on how you pair it, and I think that's kind of what holds the move speed back. You have to pair it with something to make it good, whether it's to offset, say, Armor Knight, or whether it's to whatever it might slow super armor, whatever it might be. I think it has to be paired with something in order to really utilize it better. It's not just throw three super speeds on and you're good to go. No, you're just gonna have a really weird character that runs around a lot that really shouldn't, and it's just kind of, it just doesn't greatly benefit a character to have just a move speed. I mean, maybe if you're a heavier character, Ganondorf, he moves. Bowser's pretty fast, so Bowser doesn't need that. But you know, the heavier, slower characters, maybe they could utilize it a bit better. But there's only a few really heavy characters that could use maybe a little bit of movement increase. But I don't know. I got it at C tier. So up next, just a whole bunch of specific support spirits. So things like electric attack, fire and explosion, water attacks. We have shooting attacks on here. You got PSI attacks, aura, magic, all that. All those sort of things that are kind of geared towards like one specific kind of style of a character are all put here in the C tier list. Again, you can stack them and really make them worth the while. I've seen, who is it, Pixel Shine, showed me a Pichu raid boss, and it just three electric attack ups, and that thing did some work. I've seen that thing, but yeah, all of them are a C tier just because they're geared specifically towards just certain styles, and if you're geared towards a certain style, then it's not really the greatest overall. So I hope that makes sense. Finishing these off, we have the throw power. So up, I think, yeah, just throwing moves in general. Just get moved up. Maybe this could be a bit higher, but I don't want my moves to, I don't want my throwing moves, especially if there's, you know, true combos, you know? For example, like a down air into forward, or yeah, down throw into forward air. If you're going to put strong throw on it, it's going to make the opponent launch a little bit farther. And maybe you'll end up missing your follow-up attack for your true combo. So it can mess it up, but it can be good as well for higher damage. Say, like Mewtwo, he's got a really good up throw. Put that on there, take your opponent, they're at 110%, whatever, chuck them, probably going to get a stock off that. So definitely has its uses, and again, just one, only takes up one spot. Then we have critical health stats. Now, critical health stats means once you get to, I believe it's 100%, you will get increased to attack, defense, and I think it's movement speed as well. So you have to reach a certain percentage before this kicks in, which is why it's lower on the list. So pairing this with something like, which would be really stupid, oh hello, but pairing it with something like, say auto heal, the 2-star, that makes no sense. You're trying to heal yourself, but I've seen really weird spirit setups. I've seen Lucario with great auto heal. Do you not know how your character plays? Like, come on, people. So it's just crazy. But yeah, critical health stats does work extremely well with Lucario. Think about that. Gets maybe aura attacks, maybe then trade off ability or trade off attack, and then critical health stats. That is a very, very powerful late game Lucario that you have to deal with. So again, it's geared towards maybe certain play styles, which is why it's a little bit lower on the list. And rounding out the C tier, I think I have a couple others that I wrote down here, but yes, weapon, attack, and speed up. It's 2 in 1, but it still takes up 2 spots, which I don't like, because it's like, alright, we could have weapon attack, which I have up in B tier, which takes up 1 slot, and then we have move speed, which also takes up 1 spot. If it could be a little bit broken, don't get me wrong. If you had this weapon attack and speed up only take up 1 spot, this would definitely be very high A tier, if not maybe even S tier in this case. But for now, it's very low C tier. It's just it doesn't bring any added benefit to what I could just throw on a weapon and a speed. I got the exact same thing. Still takes up 2 spots whatsoever. So it's crazy what it is. But did I have anything else? Hold on. I got some stuff. Oh, there's a few that I didn't put on here. Franklin Badge. These are C tiers, I would say. Franklin Badge is very good. We know it reflects projectiles. Now, not every character has projectiles, which, if every character had a projectile, this would be very, very high tier. But Franklin Badge overall, it's good. But if you run into a character that's just all about weapon attacks, your Franklin Badge is pretty much null and void. It's not happening. It's not... no benefit. So you gotta have a specific... you gotta come across specific characters for that to work. And again, it does its job fantastically. It does take up 2 spots, however. Keep that in mind. Takes up 2 spots, but definitely lower on my tier list, I'd have to say. And then the other one, I got Metal. Metal is another transformation just like Giant, except Metal only takes up 1 spot. I'm pretty sure just 1 spot. So you could stack Metal with, attack and whatever you want to put on it. But Metal, again, a transformation thing, only lasts for 6, 7, 8 seconds at the beginning of a fight. And then it's gone. And then it's like, alright, so I use 1 support spirit for just, say, 8 seconds of a fight. That doesn't seem worth it, though, does it? Not really. Fun thing, though. If you stack Metal spirits, if you stack 3 metals, put 3 of them on a character, and you do a 3-stock match. First stock, they will start with the Metal. Say they get KO'd, they come back with 2nd stock, they will be Metal again. I'm pretty sure I tested that out, and I think that's how that ended up working. So if you stack them, each stock will have that. So same thing with if you equip an amiibo, or if that's a part of your spirit setup, you equip them with one of the items. If you triple stack it, double stack it, whatever, every new life, they will come back and they will have that item at their disposal again. But speaking of equipable items, I don't have them on here anywhere because I don't find them that necessary. There's so many better spirits that you can use, so if I put them on here, I guess they'd all have to be lumped into the D tier because it's just like, alright, here's a new item. Sure, you could do some item shenanigans, chucking stuff. You got Bob-ombs, which can be pretty good. It could do 72% and break a shield all in 1 hit, which is pretty good. But again, you missed that Bob-omb, you just wasted a support spirit for absolutely nothing. So every equipable item down here in the D tier list, because No. But the rest of the D tier list, we have critical hit up, which only takes 1 spot, and that gives you a critical hit chance of 5% to land a critical hit like Hero. But next to that, we have the critical hit up, the 2-star, or it takes up 2 spots and it goes up by 12%. Again, it's still very low, takes up 2 spots, and you're only asking for a very, very slim, very small chance for this to actually happen, which is, if you're trying to get if you want something to happen, I don't want it to be on chance. Like, oh, I have a 5% chance to land a critical hit here. Nah, just give me something that I know will happen. All right, give me a physical attack. Give me my weapon attack. Give me my trade-off ability. I'll have more, it's just good stuff. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was the dash one, right? Yes, the last thing, the dash, which you equip it, only takes up 1 spot, so you could have some fun with it. Put it on a fast character and just run around dashing into somebody. I seen a video on it. Somebody stacked 3 dashes on a Spirit, and they're just running. I think it was on a Captain Falcon. They just kept running into their opponent, and each dash was every time they dashed into the opponent, it would do like 36% damage. So if you wanted to stack it, you could have some fun with it, but I don't know. It's just like, all right, you just have to run into them. You can't do an attack. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some dash attacks where you could follow up, like dash into them, they go flying, follow it up with a forward air, neutral air, whatever it might be, something like that. So, you could have some fun with it, but unless you really stack it to make it that much better, in this case, it's D tier. So, pretty much anything else, I know I didn't touch on trade-off speed. Trade-off speed, that's would probably be, I'd probably put that in maybe B tier somewhere if anyone's wondering about that, because yeah, there's just a lot of spirits and a lot that do quite a bit of different things, but there's a lot that are jank. You got like poison immunity, which unless you're doing World of Light or Spirit Board, you're doing very, very, very specific fights. Poison immunity doesn't do nothing. Fire immunity, nothing. Like, those are all like very, very situational, so they're definitely like F tier in this case, but this whole video, these spirits are very much geared towards competitive playstyles. So poison, fire, wind, like, no, none of those, no, get those out of here. So that's like my tier list of the major ones that deserve to be on a tier list. So let me know what you guys think. I don't know, I thought this was fun. I do plan to do a follow-up video for really cool spirit setups, and just whether it's, okay, you want an all-out attack one, do this, and I'll break that all down. But that is it for this one. Just wanted to do something a little bit different. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.